I'm back.
Probably should have shaved before I did this. Oh well. Or I could have at least taken a shower. Man. I mean, it's quarantine day 34, so who cares anymore? But hey, at least I brushed my teeth. Hey everybody, it's the moment you've been waiting for, the Self-Portrait Project. I'm coming to you live from my basement studio. You can see the basement rafters behind me. You maybe be able to hear the washing machine and the dryer off to the side. What you can't see is right next to me on both sides are a bunch of working paintings and drawings I have going on right now in different projects. But I'm choosing to give you a video from my studio because self-portraits try and capture a little bit about the artist, who that person is, what he wants people to see about him. Okay, I just want to give you some examples from the masters here. Here we have a drawing by Leonardo da Vinci. This is a portrait by Rembrandt, possibly the most famous of all self-portrait artists. He made over dozens and dozens of self-portraits throughout his lifetime. Next up here we have the famous painter Vincent van Gogh. You can see here he has a bandage on his over his ear after he had cut off his ear towards the end of his life. Also, pay attention. What's interesting about this is the background. We have a poster of Japanese print in the background because you may or may not know he was really influenced by Japanese art, especially towards the end of his career. Next up, we have Egon Schiele, who came about a generation after Vincent van Gogh. Among many of his inspirations, one of them was Van Gogh. I love the paintings of Egon Schiele, but here his painting really captures his mood, his angsty skepticism of the changing world around him, while at the same time his appreciation and love of things that are beautiful by this plant he has in the background. Next up, we have another world famous artist, Pablo Picasso. Here we have two self-portraits done by him, one as a teenager and the next one in his 20s, once he really started to develop a style and a unique message right before he dove right into Cubism. Now on to a few drawings here. This first drawing and the next one after it are done by Kathy Kollwitz, a very famous drawer and artist in the 20th century. The next of these are some examples just that I found on Pinterest. If you're curious or want to be inspired by some portraits, I highly recommend go to something like Pinterest and type in self-portraits. These are all done by pencil using graphite. All these portraits, either in a very strong way or in a very subtle way, capture the emotion of the person they're trying to depict. Now, back to some notes. First off, for those of you that are comfortable in drawing and really like drawing, this will be a great challenge for you. For those of you that are a little bit more intimidated or nervous about drawing, don't be worried. For all of you, I'm going to give you a step-by-step procedure of how I would like you to be drawing your self-portraits. I'll be doing that through a series of different videos that'll give you a step-by-step procedure of how to make a good drawing. My hope is that, like our drawings in the third quarter, by the end of this will have been the best drawing you've ever done. A lot of people are scared to do self-portraits because they're really nuanced and detailed, and you have to be really, really precise. That's the challenge. The exciting part is that we get to depict ourselves however we really want to, within bounds, and we get to depict who we are on paper. I'm excited to be doing a self-portrait of myself as an example, and I'm really excited to see in the coming days and weeks to see how your self-portraits progress. I know it's going to be awesome. Is my nose really that big in real life? Ugh. Am I balding? The first step you're going to have to do for your self-portrait is to take a picture of yourself. I would recommend taking a picture of yourself and using your iPad and drawing from your iPad Or if you have a bigger screen like a laptop or computer, you could also use that. If you only have your phone, I would recommend using something else other than that. Maybe printing out a picture and working from that if that's at all possible. But if you're trying to work from a phone, that's a little bit too small. Avoid doing that. For taking a photograph, I have 5 points for you. First off, uh, think about who's going to take your picture. Most people end up taking a selfie because it's really easy, but if you have somebody that could help you at least get things set up or even take the pictures for you, like a brother or sister, your mom or dad, or your dog or cat, that would be really, really helpful, and it makes the process go a little bit easier and actually more quick. The only difficult thing is you have to ask them, and like, well, I'm busy. Well, just go ahead and ask them. They'd like to be part of it. Second thing, and probably the most important, is lighting. Try and get close to a particular light source, like a lamp or a window, so that you can create contrast in your face. If you look in my face, what you don't see here in this corner right here is a big lamp that's about a foot away from my face. I usually have it on my shining down on my table, but right now I have it shining towards me, so that I can create a lot of contrast in my face. If you look at one side of my face is way darker than the other. What that does is helps me think about my face as a form, as a 3D object, rather than just a flat canvas with different features. When I have high contrast, I can think of the lighting in my face. And depending on how you position your lighting will really affect the mood of your drawing. So if I have it coming to the side, it's somewhat hopeful. If it's coming from the bottom, it's somewhat scary. If it's coming from the top, it's sort of like angelic or heavenly or hopeful. Different angles of lighting will affect the mood or emotion of your design. Next thing to think about after who's going to take your picture in lighting is the angle of your face. Most people for this project, especially if you're just beginning, I would just say, hey, just do it face on, just like I'm doing right now. But if you feel comfortable with portraits or want the challenge, you can think about angling your face a little bit. This is my better side. Yeah. Maybe angle your face to the side a little bit. Maybe have yourself look up, chin up, or maybe if you're maybe a more somber, quiet person, you can be looking down. One thing I would probably avoid doing is smiling like this, because one, it might look kind of odd, like it does for me. But two, teeth are pretty complicated, even though they're just pretty simple white shapes, or so it seems. When it comes to first starting off drawing, it can be pretty difficult for people. So maybe not do that. Thirdly, people don't really walk around like this, so try and avoid that. Just maybe if you want to have a smile, great. If you don't, that's okay too. It's really up to you. Third, try not to have too much stuff in the background, like all of this stuff up all around me. It's really distracting. So I would just say go maybe by a part of your house that has a blank wall, or somewhere where there's not a whole lot of background, what I would say visual noise. The last thing I would say is get as close as possible when taking your picture. If you're way back here, it's going to be really difficult. Your face is going to be really small, and you're not going to be able to see all the details. So the closer you get, the more detail you're going to be able to see. So try and have your image be really close up. That's my suggestions for you. Be sure to take your picture and upload that picture to Canvas just so I can give it the thumbs up. If it's not working out, or maybe we could adjust it a little bit, I might give some comments. It doesn't take too long to take these pictures. As you all know, people take selfies all the time, and I'll give you feedback when I get them. Thanks.